Today I'm going to give the example of a scam. A company that does not have value whatsoever. And I'm going to describe step by step how the scam works, because this scam has been working for, I would say, 6 years at least. This stock, for all of you that have been invested in Sears Holdings, of course on the short side, since 2007, when in fact 2006, 2007, when I called this company and the stock a complete aberration and a scam, the stock collapsed, and there was a strong reason for the stock to collapse in late 2008, besides the stock market crash. And then in late 2011, 2012, January, when the stock traded down to $27, where I call it that bottom before the short squeeze to basically $80 that does not appear there on the charts, but that was the case. Sears Holdings has the stock, the share price, has a very erratic behavior, as you can see on the chart. And often the stock squeezes because there is a very high short interest on the stock. And what normally happens in this company is the game is very simple. Is a game where for years they have been talking about the value of the assets of this company. Therefore, recently a customer sent me a copy of a report that went out to investors, saying that this stock is worth $239. And there was other report also saying that this stock is worth $100. All I have to say is this: if this company or the stock would be worth $239 or $100, certainly Apple, that today it is trading at $470, it will be worth 25 or 20 or more thousand US dollars per share. So this is Sears Holdings after so many years. What it continues to be, it is a scam and nothing else, where once in a while the short squeeze is played. And recently, and this is the long-term chart in Sears Holdings, and I don't recommend to anyone to have investment in this company. Once in a while, this stock does exactly these kind of short squeezes. And recently, I'm going to show, this is the chart on the stock. Recently, the stock fell to $40, in fact below, and it found their support and rallied from there. And after the rally in Sears Holdings, and I repeat, after the rally on the share price, the reports, they are made public, saying that then the stock is worth $100, $239, and so on. There are targets for everything. And this is not a question of whether to have, everyone is entitled to have an opinion about how much is worth a stock. And therefore today, people or investors are willing to pay $55.50 for Sears Holdings. Tomorrow they might be willing to pay only $50 or $60. Anyway, my recommendation about this company is very simple. I already addressed this before, maybe more than 100 times, is not ever to have an investment in this company. Because a company and the stock price that behaves like this, for no reasons whatsoever other than reports, it should not be a stock that should be seen as an investment, but rather a pure trading vehicle or a speculative play. And when you have before you a speculative play or a pure trading vehicle and nothing else, that in the end no one knows how much is the company worth. Because I could give arguments that this stock could be trading below or at single digits, and my arguments would be probably more valid than those that they say the stock is worth $239. To say that this company is worth $239 or even $100, it is a completely scam. So this is the game, that is the scam. It has been operating and it has been remained valid for all these years. It continues to be, because what they are doing in fact is to use the momentum in the market, in the stock market, to put these reports out there and then to make investors to believe that this stock or this company in fact is the single best company out there with a potential return of 400%. When you look at the reality, that is to say the numbers and what the company has been doing, the reality is completely different. If this company was in fact trading or announcing quarter by quarter consistent results, which has not been the case, the situation will be rather different, and therefore what is happening, that is the situation not right now, but what has been happening for years, is that this stock is an instrument, a pure trading vehicle, where speculators, they try to drive the share price using a small low float stock. That is the case in Sears Holdings. Why it is so volatile is precisely due to the low float in Sears Holdings, and the recent market strength that you can see in index and ETFs and nothing else. This is not only a game in fact played in Sears Holdings, but investors have to be aware and cautious, because if you invest in a stock after the rally, and precisely, I repeat that these reports are made public after the stock rallies, is the same situation as then you invested or you bought Apple at $500 or above, or at $700, when everyone was upgrading this stock to $1,000, and then the momentum fades, and once the momentum fades, everyone sells, and everyone sells. They kept upgrading the stock during the crash in Apple, and then no one wanted to buy the stock until they downgraded. So in Sears Holdings, in fact, you never seen upgrades, and in fact the Wall Street analysts, they have been correct by neglecting this company and not issuing any sort of targets, and therefore they have been correct by not getting involved in this scam. Because by getting involved and having an opinion about this stock, that is not the case with most of them, they would be participating in this scam. So my recommendation to analysts in Wall Street is precisely to describe and to inform investors about the reality in this company, Sears Holdings, and not to paint or describe, let's say, a reality as or a perception that in fact it is not the reality. So in the end, what I have seen in the stock market, and in this particular stock, Sears Holdings, it has been precise the opposite, where they have been letting fund managers to play with the stock, while employees of this company are, and investors, long-term investors in fact, are those that they continue losing money. The fund managers that they have been playing with the stock, and in fact also companies that they have long positions in Sears Holdings, they are allowed to do this. And I think that authorities, they should be quite frankly following up these individuals, these companies, that they use a stock as an instrument to sell an idea to investors, that in the end the investors, of course, they are fully responsible then for their own decisions whether to invest or to buy a stock or to sell. But in this particular case of Sears Holdings, I think that the SEC should be following closely the actions by these fund managers and some small irrelevant houses that they try to manipulate the share price of a stock. Because the recent reports that and then for your knowledge, and if you want to know more about stock market trading and investment, instead of investing in these kind of companies that they are worthless as an investment, and I'm referring to Sears Holdings, I'm not referring to Apple, you had better investment in real companies like Nokia instead of gambling in this crap. That is my opinion. And if you want to know about serious investment and or trading, it is by far preferable to neglect the opinion and the dangerous, in fact, opinion of these scams that they appear on websites in the United States, where you have so many websites, and in particular one that already called the attention of so many professional investors and traders, that is known as Seeking Alpha, where it is precisely where these reports they are published. Reports they were published like they were published in companies like OCZ Technologies, that you all remember, calling the stock an excellent buy before a total collapse. There was a rally in OCZ Technologies precisely for investors and probably insiders, I'm not sure, but probably insiders also, to dump the stock before the total meltdown, the total collapse, okay? So this was published, again I repeat, in sites like seekingalpha.com in the United States. Those are seen as scam websites that they let everyone publish their own opinions regardless of their professionalism or their experience that is negligible in investing and in stock market trading. They let everyone publish these kind of scams, and they are protected by, of course, legally by the terms of service and the disclosure and disclaimers and all that crap. But nevertheless, the reality is that these scam websites, they are fully those that I have the right to have an opinion about them as well. They are fully also responsible to let these scams to propel and to, in fact, to pop, because that has been the case for years. And today, and one more reason, or that is a confirmation of this website to be a scam, is the fact that the more they have a lot of readers, followers, and the people that they follow this website, and the more followers they have, the more dangerous they are. As again I repeat, if you want to know more, I have been addressing this in thousands of case studies, precisely where one has to have always a contrarian opinion and a clear perspective, a transparent one, an objective one, about the nature of these stocks, and not to buy a dream that in the end can cause severe losses to those that they invest. And in the end, if the game for some reason fails to continue, or if a fund manager that has been buying the stock for years decides for some reason to sell the stock or to change his own strategy, investors are, as always, left holding the bag. And if this company was worth, I repeat, $239, Apple was surely worth more than $20,000 US simply by following the same methodology or the same equation. What these individuals should be, in fact, in my opinion, jailed, as well as those analysts that they had targets in Apple for 1,111. The individual should also be jailed because he had to explain why a target so beautiful, so nice, constituted of ones, that in my opinion is precisely other sort of scam of a different nature. But individual that had a target in a stock 1111 has to be fully responsible for his decisions, had to explain how it's possible to have a target of 1111. It is calling, is the same as calling investors in Apple not only fools, as idiots, and to, in fact, an insult to not only to investors as well as to the company. But the problem is, as you might understand, is that these individuals, they have a license to kill that is precisely to let, they are allowed to publish this nonsense either in Apple or in Sears Holdings, because then they are protected by these scam websites and terms of service and disclaimers that they make no sense at all. And obviously authorities, they should be reviewing this stuff, and to be more, if they wanted to, the retail investor, in fact, to participate more in the stock market with a different kind of attitude and a different nature, instead of being gambling, probably everyone will feel more comfortable to invest in the stock market if these things, they were not happening, or if at least they would be more transparent. Which I, quite frankly, don't have any kind of hope, given my long experience in the stock market. But maybe one day, instead of looking at places where to initiate wars, they might eventually look at the stock market and try to be more disciplined and to bring more let's say, discipline and justice to these things, and to, instead of helping people that they, the only thing that they do is to try to manipulate the share price of a stock. And the same I could say about Apple recently, when they started to say once again that Apple at above $500 it was a buy, to $800, and the stock, 1 week later it is already lost $400 since the recent top at 513, when I said to dump on them. You have to be very careful with these stocks. I'm not referring to Apple. It is a stock where you don't have games. It is not a manipulated stock. I'm referring to this scam Sears Holdings, and this stock in particular, because it is extraordinarily dangerous, and I don't recommend it anyone, again I repeat, to have an investment in this company, in Sears Holdings. Even if the stock would go to $100, does not matter. You are gambling in a stock that can go to $80 as well as can go to single digits, my friends. So don't help these scams to pop. What you have to do is stay away from these scams, and to be or to invest in stock market, but in stocks, in companies that you fully understand and you feel comfortable with, and not then chasing reports or analyst recommendations. Buy always when you feel comfortable and you know why you are buying and what are you looking for. Because if you believe that Sears Holdings is a 239 stock, then probably you should be selling your dog, your house, and the rest of your stuff to buy even more at these prices today. Obviously, it will be an excellent buy. But if you fail, then you also suffer the consequence, as you might understand. Thank you.